Hey, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Thanks for tuning in with me today. We got two reviews that we're going to do today, and we're going to start off with the Atlanta Housewives or the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And let me take a sip before we start. Alrighty, everybody, let's get ready. We are on season 13, episode 14. And as you can see from the very bottom of the screen, the episode was called If You Got It, Haunted. I love the title of this episode. But yeah, so make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the Hood Table if you're not already subscribed, and make sure you comment in the comment section of your thoughts of any of the storylines or cast members of the show. Please and thank you very much. So we're gonna start off with Kenya, Marlo, and Phelan. Kenya and Phelan have paid a visit to Marlo, who is soon to be opening a showroom to rent her designer clothes. And when it comes to renting somebody's designer clothes, Kenya, she was like, are you sure about that? Because she just couldn't imagine renting out some clothes to the type of women that they hang out with. Because she's still shocked at the behavior of some of the girls that they hang around, and we all know what that stems from. But apart from that, being that Phelan was short on time, because she had to shop for a custom-made Halloween outfit, she bounced out as soon as she got there. Well, almost as soon as she got there. Besides that, she's also turning her entire house into a haunted house for the Halloween party. So I'm assuming that this time during production was maybe towards the end of October. You know, that's one thing that I like about the TV show that we review, Queen Sugar, because each episode is titled like a month, like May 19th, May 30th, April 15th. You know, it kind of, but anywho, I'm sure it was at the end of October for a Halloween party and such. But meanwhile, how do you feel about Kenya's Halloween outfit statement? Like, Kenya was concerned about wearing a bunny suit because she didn't want to disrespect Kaylin's husband, as if her husband is interested in her. I doubt it. But that comment that she stated, it kind of reminded me of the Phaedra, Apollo, and Kenya incident, which I know you can all remember. You know, the incident when Apollo playfully threw Kenya into the pool years ago. Something that didn't sit too well with Phaedra. Then that kind of spiraled out of control into is Apollo and Kenya messing around behind Phaedra's back type of thing. Yeah. So maybe Kenya done learned like a lesson or two, since then from being around the women's males counterparts. I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that comment that she made. In any case, after Kaylin took off to get her costume, the conversation quickly turned back to the Bachelorette gate once again. And I'm just like, Kenya, can you please leave it alone? Please give it a damn rest. Just kill it. Just dead it. And now even Marlo is wondering, did Kenya have some ulterior motives for, so-called trying to mend their friendship, which other people have been saying. Candy has said that. I said that. But despite of Kenya's motivations, Marlo said, well, maybe the sex sounds came from the TV. Like maybe they were just watching some porn or something. Kenya was like, porn? TV? Marlo still couldn't or didn't want to confirm or deny, knowing exactly who was doing what to Bolo or to anybody else, which she should not be telling her anything. Like, these ladies just need to zip it and throw away the doggone key. Now, on the contrary, what she did tell Kenya was how LaToya was sharing her business at Shamia's house. Now, remember, LaToya told the ladies at the No Judge Zone party that Mark just filed for divorce from Kenya and that he also wants some alimony. He wants some of her pocketbook. And did y'all hear Kenya? Child. Kenya doesn't understand just why LaToya felt compelled to tell the other girls. Kenya told LaToya, as we already know, I'm very guarded. I'm very guarded. I always have these walls up. That's why she wasn't on the show that one time. You know what I'm saying? When what she needs to be doing is taking lessons from Marlo. Because you see, Marlo wasn't questioning her about some shit that she didn't have nothing to do with. Speaking of which, isn't that what the other ladies are trying to be? Guarded? Hmm. Hmm. Marla was giving Kenya a heads up about, Latoya sharing her business because they're friends. She didn't want, she's like, who's the real friends here? I'm giving you a heads up about some shit that's being spread around about you because she didn't want you to be blindsided if anyone was to bring up the subject to her. Be that as it may, I noticed just how close Kenya and Latoya seemed to be, before the shift. And when I say the shift, which I believe started when in front of the ladies, when they were in South Carolina, at the bachelorette party, that thing when she was sitting at the table and she asked her, basically, Kenya, why do you feel the need to keep investigating a girl's thing? Like, why is you dragging out? Like, come on now. You don't have to be in Vegas to know wherever you are, what happens there stays there, especially if it's a girls' trip, bachelor party, bachelorette party. That stuff just, that's Hey, need no basis, need no basis. If you weren't there, then you don't need to know, okay? And if you were there but weren't there, then you don't need to know. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I think Latoya, she's no longer feeling Kenya. But either way, I still don't feel as if Kenya is being genuine with trying to rekindle her and Marlo's friendship. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. Moving right along. Drew. Drew has a little situation. While sitting around talking to her grandmother, Drew mentioned how since the last trip ended up with a little drama, a little messy, a little rumors on the blogs. She wants to bring the ladies along with her to New Orleans because her she's been sitting down there for some work. Her grandfather, as her mother explained, as her grandmother started to explain, once they start getting on Louisiana, New Orleans, things like that, she kind of went down, history lane, and she started telling her about her grandfather's people, how her grandfather's father was a white man, and then Drew was like, taking this all in, and then suddenly she just kind of got in her feelings from her grandmother sharing the family tree and lineage information with her. At that point, I got the feeling that maybe Drew and her mother had been in her grandmother's life so long that the grandmother kind of not forgot that Drew has nothing to do with her grandmother's or grandfather's biological tree because Drew's mother was adopted. So there's no bloodline there. You know what I mean? But so it wasn't like her grandma forgot. I think it's like, okay, when you adopt kids, you just kind of forget they're adopted. They've been in your life so long, you love them so hard. They're family. This not my adopted child. Just like with step parents, that ain't my stepchild. That's my son. You know what I'm saying? So I think, but the grandmother, she did notice, the difference of attitude or Drew's her emotional change. She kind of knows it because the grandma just sat there like, okay, I get it. I get it. But then, that went into a conversation of Drew wanting to get to know like more about her biological family, on her father's side and maybe on her mother's side. And then also along with that, she wants her son, who's like estranged from her from his dad, to have a closer relationship with him to create some type of bond. So this is kind of like a 3-part thing that Drew is planning. She's planning a trip for the ladies. Then she also trying to get to know her family members on her mother's and father's bio side. And then also that she's going to take on the task of trying to reunite her son with his father and their family. So good luck with that because from the look of it, Drew's son, he wasn't hearing it. He was like, I don't really want to know no. It was so funny because he was like, I don't want to know my dad. I mean, and see, the thing is about that is as Drew explained, her son was like, I think he met him for the first time last year, she said. But before that, when Drew was pregnant, her son's father went to prison. So he didn't really have no, relationship from the beginning of birth. And then Drew said she took him to see his dad like last year. And then she wants to see him again, wants him to see him again this year, but the son is just like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need no other father. You know what I'm saying? He got and her son's called Josiah, but she called him Little Jojo. So Little Jojo was like, I got you, I got Ralph. I don't need no nobody else in my family. I got Gma, grandma or whatever he called his grandma. But I feel what Ralph was saying, like, okay, you might have it all good here at home, but we don't want you to grow up one day, feeling like we was the reason why you never went to go see your father. So I like that he stepped in and he did that part. He saw how emotional it was for Drew, because she doesn't know her bio peeps. So, she don't want her son to grow up when he knows exactly who his dad is and exactly where his dad lives. So that's the difference there with Drew's bio parents or bio family and her sons. So again, good luck with that. Hopefully her son and her son's dad could eventually form some type of bond. And that, of course, is if Drew feels like he's able, if he's capable, if he's consistent, if he's, he was in prison for a while. So, sometimes when you get out of prison, you don't be stable, your home, your income, things like that, who you stand with, who that girl, who, you know what I mean? And depending on why he went to jail, I get what she's talking about. I got to make sure he's consistent and all that, and my son is safe around him, and just like something I would do. So, good job there, Drew. Again, I hope your son gets to, spend time with his dad and end up, bonding with his dad. And if it don't works out, you can at least say you tried, and hell, wait till he get a little bit older. Maybe he want to try again. Okay, that's my advice on that. But as far as Cynthia and Mark, the newlyweds, they're still on cloud nine. They're still on cloud nine from recently jumping the broom, of course. And I had no idea that Cynthia's vows took almost 10 minutes, because we only saw like bits and pieces of the event on the show. But Mark was like, y'all, he had me cracking up. He was like, I was just like about to look around to see if somebody was going to start playing some Oscar music, after the award speech for the best wedding vows of 2020. I was cracking up. But in spite of the fact that Cynthia can be very long-winded, everybody is so happy for them. Even Cynthia's ex, the sexy Leon. He showed them some love. Leon, who took to social media, told Cynthia that she's been a super mom, a supermodel, and now you're going to be a super wife. That was so sweet. And then to Mark, Leon said he's really happy for him and much love. That was really sweet. So yeah, kudos to Mr. Leon because every ex ain't all that. Matter of fact, did Peter say something? No, I know Peter's a good man. I love me some Peter. Ooh, Peter and that beard. Ooh. Anyway. The other day, excuse me. Let me get a sip. Like the video, please make sure y'all like the video and y'all share the video. Thank you much. All right, how to get a sip. Throat get dry when you're talking and talking and talking. But anyway, the other day when Deanna Urban and I were reviewing Bell Collective, um, did not say how a lot of couples each have a home just for them. Like they have one home that they share, then they have like the man might have a house, like especially if they already held homes before, maybe homes they paid for before they got married, and they keep those homes, and then they have their joint home. They do something like that, or some marriages, some couples they have like a bigger house, make sure they got room for them, room for the kids, and then they each can have their own individual room as well, just in case they want some alone time or some me time, or they sleep with a snorer, or just something like that. So basically, that's what Mark was discussing with Cynthia when they was out sitting on the sidewalk. I think there was like a little restaurant or something like that, bar. I don't know where they were. But anyway, they were sitting outside, and he had mentioned to her that he wants to keep his house in LA. He wants Cynthia to keep her, Lake Bailey, her house by the lake, while they both go in together, to buy a new house for them both. And she thought it was a really good idea. And I do too. I definitely think she should keep that lake house. I mean, for as long as she lives. Shoot, might even want to rent it out as a Airbnb. Shoot, I'm sure she can get a lot of money out there. I'm just saying. So anyway, after they discussed that, after that was all settled, Cynthia received a call from Drew to invite her and the ladies on a real girls trip because again, we know how the last girls trip went. But do you think Kenya's gonna be invited? Hmm. She did say she was going to invite the ladies with her to New Orleans, but I wonder, would they even want Kenya there? You know what I'm saying? And of course, Mark, he's so cool. I like Mark. He was like, go ahead, have fun, get crazy, with the provision that they bet not bring Bolo along with them. Cynthia was like, dang, I didn't even, she said, I didn't even ask if he was coming. I was like, Cynthia, girl, you better quit playing with that man. That's your new husband. Y'all literally just got married. Especially if you want to take that trip or take a trip anywhere else with your girlfriends. Quit playing with that man. Especially with all those freaky rumors still floating through the atmosphere on the internet, on social media, on the blogs, about what might have allegedly went down on the last girls, which was your bachelorette party, by the way. Okay. All right. So, okay, behave. Leave Bolo right where he at, wherever he's stripping it. But yeah, I'm like, man, if you, boy, he gonna have you locked up in the house. You think you can't go nowhere now through CBD, because of CBD 19? Let Mark find out that Bolo came to another girl's party. Mm-hmm. He gonna, that's no ass, Cynthia. But back to Phelan's Halloween party. First of all, I'm going to assume that this part of the production again was the end of October, okay? And who do y'all think had the best Halloween costume? I'm going to tell you who I thought, but I want to know who you think too. Let's see. Cynthia, she was a hand sanitizer. Phelan was Medusa. Candy was Cheetah. Shamia came as an astronaut. Drew came as Cats the Musical or something like that. Latoya, she dressed up as a dead mermaid. Portia, she came as a domestic cat. And Kenya came as a Native American. Now, y'all again, let me know who y'all thought had the best costume, who won the costume contest, or our little own contest, For me, it was a toss-up between three people. Phelan, Candy, Drew. They were just the most creative. I mean, Phelan, her Medusa was all that and some, okay? Candy, I really love hers. I mean, I really like Candy's costume. Even Phelan said that when she says to come to her events, she wanted to see shit like what Candy was working with. I really like Candy's costume. I didn't even recognize her when she came through the door. She walked all up in there, all through the house, and I'm like, who is that? I mean, the way they made the makeup, it seemed like her face was shaped different. Like even if she might have had some costume clay or something on her face, making her nose and protrude, or I don't know what it was. Good makeup artist. But then also again, Drew, I liked hers as well. So I guess it would be in that order: Phelan, Candy, Drew. So yeah, again, y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. But had it not been for watching that show, yeah, I would have never thought that it was Candy underneath that cheetah costume. So, Cynthia. Cynthia, her costume, volumes. Being that she wore a sanitizer D19, it was okay. But I do agree, with Cynthia. This costume that she got right now, it might have meant a lot, and she thinks like, I won because I'm the cleanest, or I'm a sanitizer, or I'm good for CBD 19 or not. But she was right about her one outfit when she dressed up as 50 Cent. That was hilarious, and I love how they showed the replay of that because I almost forgot what she looked like. But yeah, I loved it when she had dressed up as 50 Cent, and y'all know I love me some 50, okay? Some 50. But with that being said, how do you feel about Kenya's Native American costume? Like, did she herself search for a costume? Did she even put any thought, any time in searching for a costume? And then Drew, she thought the costume was dramatic. You think? I did too. I mean, just imagine somebody coming to your party dressed up as an Asian, or I'm a Puerto Rican, I'm a Mexican, I'm an Australian, I'm a Canadian. I mean, I can see if they dress up as an actor from one of those areas, like if somebody came as Drake and he's a Canadian, I can see that. But just, I'm a Native American, and you're not nobody famous who's a Native American. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I assume because Kenya is always trying to go out her way to be the sexiest person dressed up in the room, the most cleavage and all that kind of stuff, or at least she tried to be. But nope, not for this event. She downplayed her outfit a lot. As a matter of fact, I wonder if it was maybe because she didn't want to offend Phelan's man. Because remember, she said that at the beginning, but then she knew Phelan. Why I keep thinking, and I'm thinking of Kaylon from Bell Collective. But Phelan's man, she didn't want to offend Phelan's man or offend her. And I'm like, but you knew he wasn't going to be there. But maybe she thought, just in case, I'm just going to dress as a Native American. He shouldn't be attracted to that. But y'all, can somebody please tell me why was LaToya coming for Phelan once again? Like, I just thought that, what she said to Phelan was really disrespectful. Now, she said a lot of things, but mainly when she told Phelan that this is a beautiful home, by the way, and that this must be what dating a 65-year-old does to a girl. And I'm like, okay, it was a little funny. It was a little shade, but it was still disrespectful on so many levels. And LaToya came in there trying to act all bougie and shit. Asked the maid, where's the staff? Somebody make me a drink, bring me some food, take off my shoes, rub my back, massage my feet kind of thing. And I'm like, girl, where you think you at? A full-time masseuse? I don't know where she thought she was, girl, but she was looking for everything, including a happy ending up in there, I guess. But despite her attempting to come off as bougie, to me, coming off as very ghetto fabulous. At the least. And besides that, Phelan said, my man ain't no doggone 65. He is 56. He's like 10 years younger than what you're even trying to say. He ain't ready to retire yet. But I bet you he probably got enough money to retire. So is she jealous? Is she jelly? Y'all let me know. Because after Shade and Phelan, I'm going to get her name right. LaToya had the nerve to ask Kenya, why hasn't she been calling her? She even told Kenya to let her know if she's been replaced. So Kenya pulled her to the side by her little coattail to question her, why would you tell people who don't like me that my husband is divorcing me and he wants money? She was like, well, Candy, she had said it to, in front of her, but Kenya was like, but you told it to some people who don't like me. And she didn't get it. LaToya just didn't get it, but she felt like, well, this is her excuse. She felt like the need to inform the nieces, in a way to defend or excuse Kenya's behavior. Kenya was like, my behavior? You know how Kenya says, my behavior? Who's worried about my behavior when it's those tramps in there who bolo the stripper? Y'all, she ain't gonna let it go. Kenya's not gonna let it go. She find out who did what with Bolo. I was hollering. She said, my behavior. Kenya said, don't you raise your voice at me, because at the time LaToya had got kind of loud. And Kenya didn't like that shit. But y'all let me know, is it true, like LaToya said, that the raising of her voice is a okay, I'm gonna get it right. Trinadian thing. I don't know, but either way, LaToya told Kenya that if she can't deal with that, then don't deal with me, and therefore we will not have no relationship. And child, Kenya was pissed. She was so done with LaToya telling her, I can't trust you no more. It's a wrap. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. But you know what the real kicker was? The entire time Kenya was going off on Latoya. Latoya just kept laughing and giggling, and that was giving me the idea that she probably came to the party already tipsy, already intoxicated, inebriated, whatever you want to call it. And if so, that might also explain why she was being disrespectful to Phelan and her man, and why she also decided to leave early, as she should have probably left, maybe probably much earlier. She claimed the party was boring, and that's why she was leaving early. But she knows she was being disrespectful. She might not have been having fun, but she knows she need to take her ass home, because I think she knew she was at that point where it might lead to something else. So she asked Latoya to walk her. I mean, she asked Portia to walk her outside. Well, that's because Kenya refused to. Like, we just ended our friendship. Why the hell do you want me to walk you outside so you try to snatch my wig off? I don't know what the hell she was trying to do. But anyway, Portia walked outside, and on the way out there, Latoya was just rambling. She was talking in circles. And I know Portia was like, what the hell is your ass talking about? Like, and then did she really insinuate that Kenya was jealous of Portia and Latoya sharing a kiss together at the bachelorette party? I was like, side eye. And then moments later, I was cracking the hell up again when Phelan came running through that house. I was like, what the hell? I mean, the security guards was trying to keep her from fighting Toya. And she just came, and I'm like, dang, is she going through? They said, why is she going to the garage? Why is she? That girl came through there like Flojo and them fishnet stockings or whatever the hell she had on. And I just knew she was going to hit that corner and she was going to bust her ass on the floor. I was like, please don't fall. On camera too, please don't fall. Because she was doing like 90. I mean, in that kitchen, and I'm sure the floors was kind of slippery and stuff. I was like, please don't fall, please don't fall. I was cracking up. And then they played it back in slow motion. She was like, but anyway, she went to get her. The girl went to get her sugar daddy's golf clubs. I was like, either Latoya was going to turn I mean, either Phelan, aka Medusa, was either going to turn Latoya to stone, or she was going to beat her ass with one of them her sugar daddy's golf clubs. I was hollering, but of course the security, they got her again. They hemmed her little ass up. You can't get away from the security. Even Kenya, as big as her butt is, she wouldn't be able to get. Them security guards be big, and they be deep. They be in every corner of the house. They just be watching and waiting. But yeah, I was like, please don't fall, because she was bending them corners in that kitchen, to going around the table. I was like, oh Lord, wait for it. But yeah, y'all, Latoya's going to get enough of coming after somebody's man. First, she came for Drew's husband on the bachelorette trip. Then she came for Phelan's man for what seemed like the entire evening. I was like, girl, somebody gonna catch your ass slipping, and ain't no security guards gonna be around, so you better watch your mouth, or you better watch your liquor intake, one of the two. But anyway, I did see in the previews for next week that I think it was Drew who approached her about her alcohol, her drinking, or whatnot. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the Hood Table. I'll be back later on because I gotta do a review on Basketball Wives. So if y'all Basketball Wives fan, come through. And in the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant as always, and keep it hood. Bye.